Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to another What's Up Wednesday. Yeah, we got an exciting show for you. This is the view out the window, and I'm in the cab, and you can't see that view, so I got the Watson Lake, which is actually the name of the lake, not because I'm here, and the Granite Dells in Prescott, Arizona. Just a delight to have you here with us. Howdy, my name is Scott. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Go Small, Live Large, all about the camper travel experience. It's a delight to have you here. We do this every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Central, to help us all be better camper van travelers, whether you're still researching, that'd be no time in a van yet, part-time taking cool trips of days, weeks, or months, or a full-time traveler in my van, now starting my 5th year. Pretty crazy. We got a bunch of people in here already. This is great. So this is our topic tonight. And this is favorite campsites, because this has been on my mind for a little bit. We've been doing a lot of channel in-person events, and this has just been one of the greatest experiences the last, really since February, this being mid-May, of meeting each and every one of you and talk about the campsites. So that's one of our big topics tonight, is understand your favorite campsite. I'm going to share some of that with you. We've got a bourbon we're going to share for our Libation Live segment that's distilled here in Prescott, Arizona. We've got our This Day in World History. We got some real zingers in there for you. And then we have a viewer recommendation, a song from one of you, Frank and Sharon. Thank you very much. Again, it's about different kinds of campsites. If everybody just ran to the national forests or the national parks, rather, you're kind of missing out some things. I need to go there more often. And my thing is urban cowboys. So I'm going to share some of that experience with you, including downtown Chicago this last summer. And this is being simulcast on LinkedIn. So if you're tuning in from LinkedIn, great to have you here. It's always an honor to have our folks and friends from LinkedIn. This is a special edition tonight. This is an open mic edition. What that means is if you want to send an email to me at that specific email address, open mic, W-U-W-M-I-C, I should say, open M-I-C, W-U-W at gmail.com. You can receive the link to join me in the studio. We do this every now and again. And I think sharing your favorite campsite is a really cool way to go. And that's what we're going to do tonight. Hoping everything works. We're still experimenting with some new setups. And it's really all about the community discussion tonight. So even if we have nobody coming into the studio, we're going to do our best to look at the chat, which is pretty lively already. Because that's what we do is I just build a community. It's not about Sage on the stage. It's all about all of us learning together. So again, this is the topic is favorite campsites, and if you want to be part of that discussion, here's how you do it. Again, send an email, open MIC, Mike, WUW at gmail.com. What you'll do is send me the email. I'll send you back a link. You can join us in the studio, and we'll do the Q&A chat and share right from here. Then you depart the studio. Fair enough? So there's the email again. So if you want to get that going, that's great. Beauty is not required for sure. I mean, look at this, right? And that's the email again. And this is the survey I posted yesterday. What is your favorite? Let me zoom in here so you can see this a little more readily. What is your favorite type of campsite by far and away, national or state parks? I would concur. Boondocking BLM, boondocking on BLM, that's Bureau of Land Management land. Commercial RV parks as last place. Harvest Host slightly ahead. Man, it's tight actually. And then urban camping. So some of you are brave like me in that regard. So that's pretty cool. We're going to talk about that tonight. And this day in history again coming up. I'm really excited. We got some pretty big things there. This is the question format please to use, which is 3 stars, 3 question marks. And that gets my eyeballs on it more easily. And then I can bring up your question or your topic. It's been a day. Anything's on the table tonight, including breakdowns, car crashes, van crashes, I should say. And again, it's really a community discussion. So if you want to be part of the show live, no obligation, of course, but that's the email. Libation Live. Let me tell you about this quick. So this is Thumb Butte is the distiller. They are out of Prescott here, and I bought this small batch. I just opened it just to hit it real quick to taste it. It's pretty potent, let me tell you. And the way it works is if we get a tip in the tip jar, then we get a jingle. So we love tips, and the drinking game came from Roads of Life. So again, if you give a tip to the channel, it goes right to the Libation Live fund. And when we get a tip, if you're playing the game, then everybody gets to play the game. That was a freebie for you. Interestingly, this last week, this time I was in outside of Phoenix, Arizona. Mason Mike was joining me live in the studio. Hey, if you're having a bad day, give us a thumb up. If you're having a good day, give us a thumb up. And if you're having a bad day, giving you a thumb up will help have you have a better day, right? That's how that rolls. Let's see. Oh my gosh. I've changed my setup a little bit, so bear with me. So if you'd like to share your van story, I've been getting a lot of emails and a lot of comments through the website. We love to share van stories. So this is the email address you want to use if you want to shoot me one directly. And a big shout out to Steve, who's going to be a guest here in a few weeks, sharing his story, much like Terry out of Florida did a few weeks ago. That really caused some folks to take action. So if you want to be on the channel, this is on the guest on the show. This is what you do. Just fill out the form on the website, gosmalllivelarge.com, or that's the email address. All right. So again, let me show you kind of where I'm coming at you from. And this is the they call it the Granite Dells, and whoops. And this is the view out the, I have my camera put on the bumper of Lily. That'd be my van. And it's just the most amazing thing. It's kind of hard to see the detail here. So what I've done is I've kind of got some pictures taken in advance. So this is the van. I'm in a parking lot in a city park. And that's kind of what it looks like from the other side. This is literally, this area has these granite boulders where erosion over just a few minutes have exposed these boulders in these really extremely exotic formations. Look at this. It looks like a movie set. It looks so fake. And as the sun sets, it's 4 o'clock here in Prescott, Arizona, so the sun is really not causing any shadows at this point. But when I was here last time, I took some pictures over some time. That's literally what it looks like. It's just the most amazing place. I'll zoom in here to get a little bit better view. It's not hugely better, but it's, if you've ever been here, again, it's Watson Lake. The erosion is nature-made. The water is actually a reservoir, so the lake is man-made. But it's one of the most coolest places, and it's just literally 4 minutes from downtown Prescott. We're hoping to make a video this week on it. Coming at you, it's pretty lovely here because the elevation is about 5,000 feet. It is going to be a high today of 66, and it's going to be 46 tonight. So I have not run AC since I left Phoenix. Actually, before I left Phoenix, it cooled down at night there, but there is no need for air conditioning here, which is amazing. Pretty warm elsewhere. Spring looks like it's sprung. And gasoline prices, I cannot tell you how glad I am to be out of Phoenix, where it was $5 to $5.50 a gallon for gasoline. It's actually higher than California, I was told. Up here, it's $1 to $1.20 less expensive. I paid $3.99 yesterday filling up Lily. Let me zoom in here for you. The Prescott area, the word's out. People are moving here. It used to be less expensive. It's pretty pricey. You know, you can still get stuff in the 400-ish range. There's a couple of, $250-ish range, but everything's really well north of $500,000 here in Prescott proper, which is pretty cool. And I know why people are moving here, because the weather's amazing. The people are nice. It's super great topography. And if you want to let us know where you're watching from, it's a big monologue, sorry. Got a few more things to cover, so hang in there with me. And let's talk about this. Where you're watching from, let us know. If you're coming from a new country, we'd love to put your flag on the map. So type in NEW if you're new to the program live or on the replay. And let us know what country you're coming at us from. We always love to share that. A couple of videos we've had coming out lately, and that is the Travado versus Ethos. That has done pretty good. Everybody copies the Winnebago 59K. That's galley behind the driver's seat, 2 twin beds and a rear bath. Everybody copies that. It was kind of not really a comparison so much as just pointing out the nuances between the floor plans. That's done pretty good. Mold-free RV. We gave MCRV a plug yesterday. This one's doing pretty good. And then tomorrow, Sunday night, we have a van tour for you by Thor. This is the Dazzle. It's really a compelling rig, let me tell you. For a family van situation, it's really, really cool. A couple more things to point out here is if you want to join the Go Small Live Large Facebook group, just go to Facebook, search Go Small Live Large. It's growing by every week, and thanks again to Chris and Sandy for helping me well, doing all the work for me, standing up our Facebook group, which is great. And if you want to get really deep into the Go Small Live Large community, this is what you want to do: is join Patreon. Just go to patreon.com/Go Small Live Large. We do special stuff for that group exclusively, including some tips on where to park downtown, Zooms, and things like that. So if you want to get really into this, that's one way to do it. Speaking of streams and guests, we've got Rover Vans up next week. He builds adventure vans out of Chicago, has a really great accessory business. His ladder and tire carrier literally saved my van from being creamed that I would be vanless. And then I'm happy to say that just a couple of weeks later, we've got Neil and Britt sharing their travel nurse story with us on May 31. And then I'm going to be overnighting in a storyteller out of Denver, I think on June 7 is what we've picked. And then we've got Nick Schmidt from Sunshine State RV. Some of you have met him in June. So working on a lot of guests. This Friday, if you're curious about RV depreciation, if you're curious about resale values, if you're curious about how an Embassy RV holds up in a soft RV market, this is going to be the YouTube live we do with Embassy RV this Friday at, where is my thing? This Friday at 2:30 Central. So join us for that. He's really excited, and so am I. In-person events, save the dates. Volta Campout in late August, and then the Adventure Event Expo in October 7. Also want to shout out to the Embassy folks that are owners or wannabes. They're having their customer event. They're going to camp together June 2, 3, 4. Day guests on June 3. It's going to be the Ebby Pines Campground near Elkhart, Indiana. They're splitting us up in two different ways. The camp out crew, again, it's kind of a Friday through Sunday. Reach out to Embassy RV directly and get signed up for that. They have reserved spaces. They're selling out pretty quick. And I'm going to be part of that, but this is not a channel event. It's kind of an embassy thing. So if you're an embassy owner or you're embassy curious, if you're an owner, you definitely want to go camp out. I think they've got like 50 some sites reserved. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Something like that. Quite a few. And then if you're a day guest, just kind of curious, want to come meet everybody, meet me, things like that. Meet with Terry, we're doing a lot of different things that day. Again, contact Embassy RV and get signed up for that, and they can help you with that. Whew. Okay, a little bit more. Wow, this is a lot going on. I need to shorten this somehow. So, and then in February 2024, a lot of you have asked about this because you had got an advance email. They've got this all set up now. So, pre-sale tickets for the Vantopia, Florida, which was Florida Van Life Gathering of February this year. For next year, they're doing the same thing. More vans. Public tickets go on sale 15 May. They go on sale. And if you use the discount code GSLL Scott, you get 5% off your tickets. And we are all in the same grouping. That's the URL you want to see. If you've already bought your ticket, they're going to apply that discount for you. Here's the they rearranged the campground. Speaking of favorite campgrounds, let me zoom in here so you can see this a little bit better, maybe. And what I'm going to do is they just really rearranged the camp lot, which is really nice. And then this is, I zoomed in here for you. So our rows are the three arrows. They're actually going to move the Embassy RV group next to us. So if you read from left to right, it's the Go Small Live Large Lane, the Scott Watson Way, and then it'll be the Embassy Van Ave, and then Travados and Revels and Storytellers. So they're going to put us together again, and we're close to all the action like last time, and I'm just really pleased to be with those folks again. So a lot going on there. Thanks for hanging in there. Holy cow. Let me check my email here. Again, this is a new setup, so bear with me here for just a second. I don't see anything in there yet. Okay. So this is all new. Oh, that's why he sent the wrong thing. Lord have mercy. Can I see it from here? Bear with me. Why is this not working? I thought I solved my problem before showtime. What's going on? Hang tight, folks. This sometimes happens on live YouTube. Why is this not working? Oh, goodness. Hang tight. I just worked earlier. Hold on. Why is this not working? There it goes. Oh, my God. All right. Okay, let's roll forward. So what I want to share with you is some campsites. And tell you why I like them. And if you want to even just post a question in the chat, we can do it that way. I know a lot of folks are very camera shy, but if you want to do that, again, this is the open mic edition. And let's say hi to here. We got I'm definitely needing a hit here. So Matthew, thank you for the super chat, sir. Hello, my friend. Been a crazy busy, but glad to see you still going strong. Stay hydrated, my friend. Libation on me. Yes, sir. Let's do that. Now, I'm in a public parking lot, but I saw somebody drinking wine on the rocks. So we'll talk about this in a few minutes, but this is a brand new bottle. Not cheap, but I always find that I like to support the small crafts people. Thank you, Matthew. I really do appreciate it. And their stuff tends to be expensive because they're kind of like a 1, 2, 3, 4 man show versus the big guys. So, Matthew, thank you. That will make your taste buds tingle. Thank you for that. Very generous, Matt. Really appreciate it. Still going strong. Some days better than others, but we got a lot coming up for the channel coming up. Let me do this before I keep going. Let's answer some questions because I've been talking for like 20 minutes. Let's see here. Congratulations again to Bill and Joe. They purchased their Coachman Beyond at Sunshine State RVs, and we're just so proud of you. So congratulations. Keep us posted. If you do want to share your story, once you get a little more comfortable, consider coming on the show. You guys would be perfect to share your story. Here we got Sherry in the house. Good to see you. We have Ron in the house. New York. Oh, it's warming up there. Wow, gas is cheap by comparison. And let's just give Sherry a big round of applause. She does so much for the embassy and several others, Roads of Life and a few others, do so much for the embassy RV owners and working with me, working with embassy. She's kind of the marketing assistant in between. She's even working on our website now. So a huge shout out for Sherry. We love Sherry. Here's Sharon's in the house. She is a dedicated gal. I think she shows up to everything that I post, which is pretty awesome, including the video yesterday. Let us know where you're watching from. And if you can use that format, again, 3 stars, 3 question marks, help me see it. Here's John in Philadelphia. Welcome, sir. Here's Marie. Love Marie. She makes a good bread. It's amazing bread. It was so good. Thank you, Marie, for sharing that. Here's Gary in the house. Oakland Park, just down the street from Kankakee, Illinois. Neil and Britt, good to have you. Again, they're going to be sharing their story. She's a traveling nurse. He's kind of a van dad, muscle guy, fitness dude. So you're in Colorado. You're out of New Mexico then, eh? Maybe drive down to Taos. I don't know. $3. Holy, that's a good price. That makes you feel good. Roads of Life in the house. Rob, this is for you. Excuse me. Yeah, thumbs up, everybody. Thank you, Roads of Life. Appreciate that. Rob's going to be on the show in August after he retires. He's very excited to be here. Here's Terry. We talked about his story, where you're heading first in your new van. Yeah, let us know about that. That'd be super great. JK's in the house. 75 degrees. Michigan. Holy cow. It's warmer there than it is in Prescott today. That's kind of funny. Arizona. Hey, there's Greg Johnson. Good to see you, sir. He's the maker of the cab window screens that are becoming world famous. And so great. Here, Mississippi. What is this? Mississippi Pyro. Hello, everybody. That might be a new name. Should we give him a freebie? Or her? Simi G's in the house. There he is. Simi G's in the house. 66.4. It's actually more expensive in Phoenix. Simi G, if that makes you feel any better. This is so great. I love this. Justin's in the house. Hello, Scott. Currently in Alamos. Uh-oh. Neil and Britt, you got some Velcro with you. That's because Neil and Britt have really good Wi-Fi, right, Justin? And you're a working guy from your van, so you know how important that is. That's so great. Here's Dave in Kansas City, Missouri. 297 at Loves. Wow. Celebrating 1.5 years living in my van drifter, and loving it. Congratulations. Let's give a little shout out to Dave. 1.5 years. Feels like you're just getting started, right? I'm just starting year 5, and I'm like, the only thing my van needs is a good bath, inside and out. It is so dirty. Oh my God, the blowing dust and stuff just kills you, right? Here's Brenda. That might be a new one. Brenda Hunt. Thanks for joining us. I really do appreciate that. We got Fair. I think that's hey Scott. Been a while since I caught the live. Usually watch replay coming from upstate New York. Fair. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us tonight. Really appreciate that. Or today, wherever it is. Mr. Kurtz in the house. Just sanitize your tanks. Good job, sir. What we could do is all have a big get-together vanboree, and we could all work on my van. We could have Mason Mike replace light bulbs. We can have Rich Kurtz sanitize my tanks. We can have Roger and Jane do some mods, and I'll just sit back and bartend. What do you think? Here's Sherry Ann. Here comes a Travado at high speed. It's so funny. With a New York plate, maybe? I'm not sure who that is, but she's a Travado. I'm guessing a viewer. That is so great. Sherry Ann, good to see you. FDR Park in Georgia. Steve at Louisville. Steve, we love Louisville. Steve and his embassy. Alfred, thanks for being a Patreon, a true believer, sir. Great to have you here. Frank and Sharon in the house. St. Louis, we're back on Route 66. I actually have some content coming from Route 66 because I'm going to be passing on some of that heading into New Mexico, so I'm inspired again. In the favorite campsite tonight is Cracker Barrel, but last week we paid for a campsite in Branson, Missouri. It was very nice, and that is super awesome. Congratulations. I've never been to Branson. Question here for Roads of Life. What do you think of camping at casinos? So we're going to share some of this information with you. I kind of recognize that lady that pulled up. She's got a granite Travado. I'm going to say... Oh, it's funny. Maybe we should come say hi through the window. She got out of the car, though. What do I think about camping in casinos? I have done it. I enjoy it. There's a lot of security around. They oftentimes have special RV parking. They have ice-cold air conditioning inside. They usually have pretty good Wi-Fi. They have really good restaurants. And if you stay away from the really big ones in the really big cities, it's kind of inexpensive. So I actually have done that and enjoy it. There's one, Lord, I can't remember where it was. But yeah, I do enjoy those. I don't think I've ever been turned away at the bigger ones, not kind of the native, tribal slot, machines only. I don't gamble, so I'd go there for other reasons. Food, drink, casino, or Wi-Fi, air conditioning overnight. So I usually like those. Let me know if you have different. Oh no, we have. Let me know what you think of casinos. I think it's a great place. Lyle, is that a new name? Hi Scott, been traveling last few weeks in southern Utah. What an impressive state for the landscape. Yeah, it truly is. I'm going to be mid-state Utah, but I've been through that a little bit. A lot of national parks there that I've not been to. Drove right past. Lyle, thank you for joining us tonight. Really do appreciate that. That's really amazing. And I thought I saw April in the house tonight. Hello, Scott, watching from Forest City, Iowa, Winnebago headquarters. You guess it repairs on my Travado. I think you drive to mod locations and warranty repairs. Yes, I think that's the way you roll. But that's Roads of Life wants to know any hidden issues with Lily since the replacement, recent unpleasantness. He's referring to my van was rear-ended about 5 weeks ago now, today actually, and video coming probably next week on that. Hidden issues, not really, except the thing just creaks. Like an old Victorian house. As it heats up and cools down, it just creaks. And the guys at McLean inspected it, but couldn't really find anything. I think it was just enough to knock some things out of alignment. So it creaks, but everything's working as expected, which is great. Thank you for asking. Gary's got a question here. I thought I saw Man, I got that one, didn't I thought I saw another one. Well, you guys are really moving tonight. Here's Josh. No way, Josh. Woo! Josh, thank you, sir. Okay, everybody drink. So who knows who Josh is? Josh is the guy that, with Zach, helped set up. He's from Van Life Outfitters, and they're the producers of the now called Vantopia, Florida. So we had a conference call over the weekend. They got stuff set up for us, and we are good to go. Josh, thank you for doing what you do, really, and for your generous tips, sir. I appreciate that. You guys have so much work. We just love piggybacking with you, and they have some really big improvements. We'll be going over that as we get a little closer. February 2024 seems like an eon away, right? But I'll remind you that it's already May. June is a few weeks around the corner of the year's half over. So where in the world are things going? I thought I saw a question here. It's from Gary. Do you track your camping expenses? How much on average do you spend a month as a full-time traveler to stay in your van? I kind of loosely track it. I put myself on a very loose budget. I actually have a video coming out. I think it's going to be next Sunday, a week from Sunday, on the cost of van life as a full-time traveler. I think you'll be surprised at how kind of inexpensive it is. It will not shock many of you that the biggest expense is gasoline, libation, not so much campgrounds. I was kind of shocked by that as I'm doing the research, and it's pretty inexpensive. Round numbers, it's about $2, maybe $3 a month. So depending on how you to put that in perspective, in my old days when I had a house, the mortgage by itself was $3,000, right? Plus everything else on top of it. So Gary, watch for that video. A lot of you have asked about that. And if you're just taking part-time trips, you can divide that by how many days per month and how many days you travel. Good question. All right, let me kind of get into this. And I'm afraid to check my email. Where's my phone? Right here. Let me do this and see if there's, because I don't want to script the screen again. Bear with me. No. Oh, I got too many devices. Let's see. Please hold the recommendation. Oh, I don't even have that on here. Oh, no. Let's see. If I do this, bear with me 1 second, folks. I just want to make sure in case somebody sent an email, I didn't miss it. No. Okay, we'll go back here. It's going to stay, yes. Okay, so let's talk about this on types of campgrounds. So if you've been following me at all, you know I don't really roll into national parks. Number one, you have to really plan in advance. I've discovered early on, and it's even way worse now. So national parks, certainly really well-known ones, you have to make reservations a long time in advance, and I kind of roll about 2 to 3 weeks. So I'm not going to drive across the country for a national park. A lot of you do. A lot of you love it. It's probably the thing I do the worst. Right? So national parks are absolutely some place to go. And there's a website, recreation.gov. You can actually make those reservations. That's what I found to be very useful. I find state parks more approachable, way less congested, and equally as awesome. Lost Dutchman State Park in Arizona, outside of Phoenix, being a great example. Most of them have a kind of a reservation system that's kind of nationwide if they subscribe to that service. So if you haven't looked at state parks, that's a place to go. And one thing I discovered just the last couple of years is county parks. So this is Racine County in Wisconsin. By Racine, it's kind of just above the border from Illinois. And this was a beautiful, beautiful park. And that's one, if you haven't tried that. Fairgrounds would be another one. This crowd knows about this quite a bit. Harvest Host, which also now includes Boondockers Welcome. Harvest Host being commercial property, wineries, breweries, farms. I stayed at one. It was Jackass Junction outside of Phoenix, and it was so fun. They had donkeys, they had chickens, they had goats. They had all these critters running around. It was so cool. I couldn't get any work done because I was too busy watching the animals. A Harvest Host site. I roll into a KOA about once a week for a night or two just to do laundry, do tank duty, and these are kind of my go-to because they have such a great app. I can literally do it while I'm driving, which I try not to do. And it's not a it's not a membership thing. They have a loyalty program. I've got close to over 200,000 points now. But if you haven't tried a KOA, they're just very consistent. That's the other thing I really like about them. They're on the probably 20% higher than everybody else, but the app convenience makes it up. It's so great. These are the apps I use. I'll zoom in here so you can see this. There's one I want to talk about, which is Dirt. So again, these are the apps I use pretty readily. But then the one I want to talk about, which is where I've been staying the last few nights in Prescott, is this one. This is called Dirt. It's kind of an aggregator app. They're kind of new-ish on the scene. Mike and Jennifer Wendland of RV Lifestyle just did a video on this. I'm still trying to figure it out. It's not super intuitive, but you can see here on the inset there, the White Spar campground is actually the National Forest. It's in the Tonto National Forest, just literally, 2 miles outside of downtown Prescott. And I stayed the last 2 nights in the National Forest here. Here's the White Spar campground, and you can click off from that app to the website, which is a reservation system for, again, recreation.gov, and it was really, really easy. But I just really like these aggregating sites, so you're not having to hunt and poke everywhere. Curious if any of you have used Dirt, DY or ET. There's a free version, there's a pro version. I signed up for the pro version. I don't have any association with them at this point until I figure it out. I can't not figure out the pro stuff. I need to watch the Wendlands video, apparently. So let me pause there. I'll look for some more questions, and then what I want to do is talk about some of my favorite camping spots. This one we'll talk about, because this is our channel camp out back in Texas just recently. So let me look for some more questions here, because I always like to get those questions. So let's see. Or comments. Let's see. You're all talking amongst yourselves, which is great. Steve Hood. Oh, sir, you're going to be. We've been talking about he'd be on a guest, and he's agreed to be it. He's got a great story. He's very persistent, by the way. Good under pressure. I try to be. This has been an amazing learning experience. This shadows are just so bad today. I don't look quite that tired. It's my Friday night, but I'm. Anyway, let's see. Here's Tin Can Carl in the house. Hello from Grayson Lake, Kentucky. 80 degrees, sunny, gas 349. It's warm everywhere. It's considerably warmer in Kentucky than it is in Prescott, Arizona today. I'm so enjoying this weather here. It's just beautiful. You have to turn the heat on at night. At about 3 in the morning, just a little bit, and then it starts warming up, so it's pretty great. Mesa Mike in the house. This is from Mesa Mike, my band bro. He is so great. My new favorite in the neighborhood campsite is Lost Dutchman State Park, 7 miles away. Joy and Lucky agree. Joy being the girlfriend, Lucky being the dog, Bandit being his van. I'm going to take a little bit of credit for kind of introducing you to it, right? We had such a great time. He stayed 2 nights. They have a boondocking, meaning dry services. So depending on weather and how long you're going to stay, I would stay in the dry camping area because you have to have a dry camping setup unless you're running a generator, which somebody did they allow generators 2 times a day for 2 hours. It's like 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. and then 5 to 7 p.m. And we had a funny ranger experience putting those people on short leash with their generator. But yeah, Lost Dutchman, if you haven't been there, it's absolutely spectacular. Steve says the national parks I've been to, probably Zion, Grand Teton, have had the best boondocking cell service. That's good to know. That's one reason. Josh, what's up? And that's a scapegoat, really, because I haven't been in enough national parks. Because I'm an urban cowboy. But looking at the survey, state parks and national parks, way over half the people watching and associated with this channel, that's their favorite place. So maybe I'm really doing the channel a disservice by not exposing some of that. I don't know. Roads of Life. Wife keeps seeing you spelled your name as go small, live large. Did I have my things misspelled right? Oh, I do. Holy cow. Can I fix that on the fly? I will. That would drive me crazy. Can I Edit layout. No, I don't want to touch anything. So I'll fix it for next week. Thank you. I look at that. You've all looked at that for about, I don't know, 2 years and never corrected me. So I love it when I get corrected by y'all. It's how we roll. We learn, we share. That's the deal. Lyle says he's heading to a state park near Quarry, Colorado. Weather says snow showers. So next week I'm headed to Flagstaff, where there are some threats of snow, which is just amazing. Matt says, come on down to Iowa. Art Festival and Brewery Tour coming up. Why not? Indeed, sir. I love how you roll. Oh, my gosh. Here's Mike N. Just joined the live. Thank you, sir. That might be a new one. So let's give a shout out to Mike N. Thank you for joining us. Joining the live. Where are you at? I am in Prescott, Arizona, which is one of my favorite towns in Arizona. I've got quite a list now. Mainly because it's a really historic town. It's got an amazing downtown. It's at elevation where it's super comfortable right now anyway. Whereas the Valley of the Sun, Phoenix area, it's already in the high 90s. It sort of cools down at night, but my van at least gets so heat soaked, it's just not comfortable overnight. Steve, we haven't seen you for a while, sir. This is EGC. Hi, Scott. At 66, I creek 2. I'm going to, yeah, right. I'm going to be 90 in Spokane this weekend. That's where my family's going. I'm headed that way. Going to be there in a couple months. Travato meetup next week at the state park in Wenatchee. One of the great towns in Washington State is Wenatchee. Hopefully, you're taking, what is it, Highway 2, not Interstate 90, to Wenatchee. That is one of the best roads in the state. It goes clear across. When we get there, that's not going to happen this year, but I want to do a Central Washington State wine tour along Highway 2. There's so many places by like Walla Walla, and it'd be such a great town. But there's so many great sites along that stretch. Congratulations. Good to see you, sir. May have been a little while. Sherry wants to know, do you have an average number of nights you like to stay in a campground when not on a schedule? I'd say probably a good question, Sherry. I'd say probably 2 to 4. Kind of depends on what I'm doing, where I need to go next. Sometimes I just need to sit because I'm always in motion, and it's really kind of depends on what's going on. Campgrounds like in KOA or the one I'm staying at tomorrow in the area is well, that helped. is usually 1 or 2 nights. Because while I enjoy the conveniences of an RV park, laundry, Wi-Fi, at least at the main building, tank duty, electrical, just plug in, not to worry about anything. It can get a little, what's the right word? Laborious. I don't know. Love other campers. I just don't like looking at RVs. I'd much rather look at this, right? Which is kind of why we do what we do, how we do it. It's a good question. Let me see if there's others in here. Did this die? No, it didn't die. Okay. Lord have mercy. Let's see. What else we got in here? BB. Hi, Scott. How frequently do you sanitize your freshwater tank? Probably not nearly enough. I empty and drain mine every few days, so it could probably use a good sanitizing, but I don't know. Probably once a year, which is going to gross you out probably, but my fresh water is moving through my van, moving through my system, moving through the systems, and so I don't feel a real need to do that super often, but great question. Some of you that are taking trips with days of home base in between, let us know what your frequency is. Maybe Neil and Britt, you guys are full-time travelers, and Justin, how would you answer this? I think kind of like that, like your water house system, household water system. If the stuff's moving, it doesn't really have a chance to get clogged up, but I may be wrong on that. So Sherry wants to know, when you use the apps, do you say to think it's more important to leave a review for others? I'm trying to do that with Dirt, actually. And KOA, they're very good about wanting a review, and I usually do one there for them. And if it's good or bad, I put it in there. I stayed where was I just recently. It was a very not KOA experience. I was pretty disappointed. So I tried to. I'm not. I'm really good about Harvest Hosts leaving news there or reviews. And I think it's a good question. How many people use Yelp? I don't use Yelp because all it is keyword for BITCHING, right? And I've never seen, and they're so out of date. So I just reviews are, be middle of the road, pros and cons. Would I recommend it? Would I stay again? Those are kind of what I talk about. I think a lot of people make a lot of decisions based on people's reviews versus just trying it out. So I kind of err on trying it out first. Nomad Man, yes sir. Wasn't there a song about Lukenbach, Texas? Yes. Waylon Jennings did the Lukenbach, Texas song. Willie Nelson was part of that. So with Willie, Waylon, and the boys. Love that song. It's so great. Let's see. So here's April kind of concurring on Dirt. DYRT is the best. Use it often. Maybe, April, you can show me some technology there because I'm still trying to figure it out. Yes, Mason Mike, I'm headed up through Jerome and Cottonwood early next week. Right up your boondocking alley. Eat at Bocelli. Delicious. That's so great. So let me share a few of my favorite campsites. Let's see what else we got in here quick. I just love how we're all chatting this evening. GEG Steve saying, yep, Highway 2, Spokane to Wenatchee. So it goes right through the middle of the state. You drive slowly, and there's a lot of cool small towns along the way. So great. That's so great, including Dry Falls, right? Oh my God, one of my favorite places in the world to see Dry Falls. It's like Niagara Falls, except it's on a prehistoric level, and it's like, pick the number, 10 times the size of Niagara. It's all dry now, but they actually show you how this huge ice dam gazillions of years ago broke, and it's so cool. All right, let me talk about this. Lukenbach, the fun thing about this, because we were all together, right? This was a combination of, well, it was all dry camping. We did Lukenbach in a field one night, and then we did a Harvest Host the next night at a winery in Fredericksburg. So that was fun. Mason Mike alluded to Lost Dutchman. The full moon came up over the mountain there. Absolutely precious. It's just the most amazing place. I could stare all day and night at that mountain. It's just so great. Apache Junction is where it's technically located. I just like cool experiences. So I stayed at Goldfield Mine, which is just a mile away from the Lost Dutchman State Park. It's technically an old mining town that's been kind of converted into a tourist trap. It's all the essential elements there. Some of the buildings are original, the mine shaft, and etc. They have a little bit of an RV park down below on the expensive side, but I just really wanted to have a really cowboy experience. And once the gates closed and the bar closed, this was actually taken on the main street. This picture here, I kind of crept around in the dark with my camera with a full moon, and this is kind of a nighttime shot of that. So you can just put your cowboy on. They probably didn't want me out there taking pictures, but I just wanted a really different experience. If you've ever kind of done a ghost town or done full moon strolling around and doing moon shadows, it's really, really cool. So that's kind of a different experience. I was going for the difference of the experience and the moonlight in particular. This is Fort Worth. We've done a few of these. This is a Vanbury. This is street camping in Fort Worth, Texas, in the stockyards. Love to do that, either alone or with some of y'all. And if you haven't been to the stockyards in Fort Worth, you don't know what you're missing. Get your cowboy on. This is a Harvest Host site. This was the view out the window. This is in San Antonio at the Texas Air Museum. I think I could look at this all night long, which I probably did because I couldn't sleep. I don't know. Because the San Antonio Sheriff's Office helicopter patrol was across the street. So all night long, the helicopters were going up and down. Couldn't get enough of watching the helicopters going. It was so cool. And let me just slide over here and see if we got... Oh, here's Robert Hume wants to come in the thing. Okay, so Robert, hang tight. Let me see if I can get this set up. And that would be Roads of Life. So Robert, I'm going to send you the reply to the link. Please work. There it is. So just hit the link. or Roads of Life, and we will invite you into the studio. This is awesome. While we're waiting for him, let's give a huge. That is a super generous GEG Steve. Thank you, sir. Wow. I got to get to this part of the show. This stuff's, whew. It's 102 proof. Okay, we're waiting for Rob to come in. Roads of Life. He has a YouTube channel, by the way. Thank you, Steve. That's very generous of you, sir. I appreciate that. I can't wait to see you. We're going to be in Spokane. I'm not sure when, but the next couple months. So Steve Roads of Life, look for that. And then we will invite you in and we will let you ask your question. Let's talk about style of travel. So I'm excited to answer that. So let's, where is my cursor? Right here. Let's see. Yeah, here's Justin. He's a full-timer, so all of us here sanitize our freshwater tanks once a year. Again, I think the key is keep it moving, right? Just like your household water system, the water keeps moving. You don't sanitize your household because it's always in motion. So I think if you go for a few days or weeks and that sits for a few months, then you're kind of here he comes. Are you ready for this, ladies and gentlemen? So I think if you go for a few days or weeks and that sits for a few months, then you're kind of
here he comes.
Are you ready for this? Uh-oh. Oh, geez Louise. I think if you just mute your speaker, Roads of Life, I think that will do the trick. And Josh wants to know, what is your favorite campsite in the U.S.? Don't keep your favorites a secret. What's your go-to meal in the van when feeling too lazy to cook? That would be finding a burger and a beer in a tavern if I don't feel like cooking. I got cooking down to a science pretty well. I grill ahead, which makes a huge difference. Let's try. There he is.
Did it work?
Roads of Life. Nice job, sir. This is awesome. Thank you for being here. No way, there she is, Mrs. Roads of Life. So let's give one for the Roads of Life crowd. They're the one that came up. Now everybody has to have a little sip.
There we go.
You got the enforcement or the enrichment for you to come on. So tell us what your question is, and we'll have everybody kind of answer this because it really varies. But what is your question, Roads of Life?
I wanted to find out about styles of travel, like how people plan travel. Like what we've been finding out is I'm not retired yet, so we have to plan everything in detail.
I think it really depends on how you want. If you're taking trips of days, weeks, or months, it probably is not a bad idea to at least have some degree, from my experience, at least a trajectory. Make some reservations. Harvest hosts in particular are getting really full. Weekends are probably the worst. Weekdays are probably the best. Weekends are when you don't want to be in an RV park. They're just always the busiest. So I think it's how detailed do you want to be? I was uber detailed when I first started. I literally had every day planned for about almost 6 weeks. That certainly went by the wayside about day 4. So I know some people in the audience, like we'll not mention their names of Roger and Jane. They're going to South Dakota and they got a big old spreadsheet. And you can, again, be as detailed as you want. But I think it's, what are some points of interest along the way? What's your start-finish points? What are things along the way? Be open to changes. Look for the brown signs. That's where all the action is. Allow the apps have routing features. So like Harvest Hosts, you can say I'm starting here, I'm ending here, and it'll plot the Harvest Hosts along the way. Unfortunately, they're usually along the freeways. But I would, and even to this, even the last couple of days, I'm planning out about 2 to 3 weeks in advance, every other day with a stop point and a reservation. So kind of 1 or 2 days open, stop point that has a reservation or something like that. I'm going to do something specific. That works for me. I'm curious what what's in your mind, Roads of Life, on how you might want to do that and what tools you might use?
Well, yeah. So what we've been doing lately is planning to the nth degree, but that's because of me. So
Nothing wrong with that.
if you ask Terry Minix, the very first time I met him was at Florida RV show, and I had a big 3-ring binder of all these things, questions and answers.
Bill and Joe sound familiar?
Yeah, and yeah, and whenever we plan, it's like, okay, we know we have to be in X place or Y place or Z place. So I want to know everything that's going on that route because I don't ever want to be bored. So I plan every single day as if that's what we're going to do. We don't necessarily do any of it, but if it's a rainy day, I know what to do inside, and if it's a sunny day, I know what to do outside. So I don't have to think too much while I'm driving.
And that's okay. I think everybody. It's like when you get your van, Rob. I think everybody just loads it up because you think that's what
Yeah.
you're supposed to do. That's what you do when you buy a house. You just start loading up with stuff. And I think if you're open to change and you're open to some experimentation, do what you just talked about, but then be open to experimenting. Be open to change.
Right.
The nice thing is you have a co-pilot. So if there's something coming up, like a brown sign, co-pilot right there, she can quickly look on, Google that really fast, see if it's something of interest, and you might completely derail the next 2 or 3 days because now you've
Right.
gone someplace that you didn't really know existed. So I'd say do your plan as you see fit, but be open to change, open to experimentation. And we talk about this in urban camping workshop, is know why you would want to stop. What are your criteria for stopping someplace, either for the day or for the night? Because I think if everything's a whack-a-mole, you're going to get super tired real quick. So understand, like for me, seeing a trailhead, next, not interested, not even, But historic district, I'm going to stop and pull over and look at that because that I'm very interested in. So I think, and then using some of the apps, having 1 or 2 firm, maybe 3 every couple days, a firm stay point, so you can make a reservation. Hopefully you can cancel. That's what I would kind of coach you on. Let's see what other folks might have to say about that. You might know this lady. Sherry says, I do less planning and have a loose idea. Uh-oh. What is that one's name?
This is Sherry. Say hello, Sherry.
Sherry.
She doesn't recognize anything on the.
That's totally fine. That is fine. Well, Sherry Ducro, which we know and love, says she does less planning and have a loose idea. Even when I work full-time on the road, I planned more where I would have a good cell service. So that's also something that's super important, is the importance of that. Thank you, Sherry, for sharing. Here's Dave. He's saying, Rob, I look at the weather if I haven't been there before I head that way, visit small towns along the way, never in a hurry. So, depending on how weather sensitive you are, I'm not really weather sensitive, but I've kind of become immune to that over time.
We're in an embassy. We're never worried about weather.
I know, right? You guys crack me up. Here's Josh. So again, this is Mr. Van Life Outfitters. Exactly like he's got. I try to plan when I start. Now I'm just a leaf in the wind. Move with the weather, the seasons. Leave yourself a little freedom to be flexible. Josh has got a great point. Let me tell you, it was super frustrating for me, Rob, when I got going, and I wasn't adhering to my plan. So the reservations can be firm points, or if I have a Volta training thing, those are firm points, or channel activities, those are firm points. But everything else is kind of around those firm points. So I think do your thing, do you. That would be my advice, and then be open, experimental, and then I think you'll find that the freedom and the flexibility will be less stressful than trying to adhere to a schedule and a spreadsheet and all that stuff. So give that a shot.
Yeah, whenever we see each other, I'll show you my spreadsheet. It has mileage and hours.
Well, Roger and Jane are working on those, and I get it. So here's Neil and Britt. No planning equals more fun. But for that kind of a person, they have 3 months on and 3 weeks off type of deal. So I'm not even sure I'd be good at that because I need to keep moving and know where we're going to go. But it's really each to their own. But I think for me, and maybe for somebody that's kind of data sensitive like you, having a trajectory, start, stop, having a few reservations every 3 or 4 days. That's kind of firm, and then just being open. But my real advice, Rob, is just do you and
Right.
be willing to learn from it.
That's why we're here on this channel, to learn.
And get some of
And
those
a drink.
apps. There's some really great apps. Yes, sir. We showed those earlier, but there's like Culture Trip and Road Trippers. They show you things. There's an app called, I hope this doesn't kill my thing. What is it? You will love this. It's called, oh no, where is it? I think it's called Side of the Road, something like that. Maybe it's on my phone. What it is, you ever see those mile markers, the historical markers?
Yeah. Oh, you said something about that at some point.
Please hold. Holy cow, I can't believe I don't have this. It's really cool, and I don't even see it on here now. On the explore here, is that it? No. But I'll see if I can. And then there's another one called Photo Spot that is literally it takes you to places like favorite Instagram places. It's kind of silly. It's called Roadside. Yeah, so Roadside. So Texas is really famous for this. They give you a 1 mile warning, and they give you the historical marker number. You type that in, and Roadside will find your location, type it in, and it tells you what's on that marker. So again, with a co-pilot, she can type that in really fast, see if it's something worthy of stopping for,
Right.
and reading, and then kind of taking it in. So again, just being spontaneous, but having a plan. That's what I would advise.
Yeah, we've been using RV Parky a lot. So,
RV Parky. I have that. I have not used it, I don't think. There's so many
it's
apps.
good if you need an RV park to stay at, which we like to do every few days, so we can shower and whatever.
100%. Yeah.
So that's why that's good.
Yeah.
And I use Google Maps all the time.
Google Maps is a great resource, and just the Google, right? Just
Right.
type
If
in
I want to
Prescott.
find out something nearby,
It's pretty cool.
things to do.
So here's a couple more. So let's see. This is Josh again. Keep it flexible. Here's April. Me too. Loose schedule. Mostly leaf in the wind.
A leaf in the wind. Too soon. Too soon.
And here's Frisco T. I've been trying to plan more around being able to take back roads. I would really encourage that. Thank you, Frisco T. But I'm still locked into having to get to destination because of work. So yeah, I really encourage you to take the back roads. Thank you, Frisco T, for that. And it's really just a great way to go. You want to stay here for Libation Live quick?
Sure.
We're at the top of the hour already. Great to have you here. We have a special guest tonight. Like we had Mason Mike last week. This is great. It's a good practice for you.
I need to get libation.
Yes,
Let me
sir.
run and get one.
I know. Maybe we can have a little on the house here. All right. Well, he cues that up. Let's see if I can get this rolled forward. We're going to share with you the Libation Live so you guys can. I had a bunch of this one. Ooh, Maker's Mark. That's always a favorite. This one, if you haven't been here, this is a national park. I can say I've been at a national park. This is in southern Idaho. This is Craters of the Moon National Park, National Monument, National something. And if you have not been there, you must go see this. It's absolutely one of the most amazing places on Earth. It's an old lava flow that's actually quite new. Don't quote me on it's like 50,000 years old, but it looks like Craters of the Moon. In fact, the Apollo program, they trained out here, and I really like it because a lot of the spaces are van-sized only, and you can not see the other campers, which was great. The night I was there, we were in, it was a full moon. It was so great. All right. Wow, that's a big one. Cheers, Roads of Life. We're so excited for you. Are you loving your embassy or what?
Oh, I love our embassy. Sometimes, if I'm still working, I'll just go into the van and just work from there because I work online. So
yeah, it's.
I just go in the van and work from there, and I'm happy. I'm right next to the house.
Isn't that funny? How many of us do that? Go stay in our vans in our driveway just because it's so cool, right?
I know Sherry Duco did that. Well, actually, sitting in the van.
It's so true. That's so great. Okay, let me just talk about Libation. We're going to go a few minutes over. Rob, thanks for being in the studio tonight. This is good practice for you. This is what it looks like from your side, right?
Right.
So this is Libation Live. Again, this is Thumb Butte is the distiller. This is the Skull Valley. They have another one called Bloody Basin, all based on local history. This is small batch, 101 proof, and they do gin and they do vodka. They're only open on weekends, so I've not been to the distillery yet. Again, this is a small batch that I'm enjoying tonight. So Skull Valley, Asian air-dried port wine, and I can tell you it doesn't taste like port wine, which I love, but there's just a hint of it, and so well done. Again, an American white oak from Kentucky Wood Drying Yard. There's the mash bill. I could definitely, it's the rye's a little spicy. 101 proof, it always makes your taste buds stand up. Not cheap like these things usually are. $78. So all of your Libation Live donations really came in handy. And I have to put a little more in my bag. Hold on. This lady across this, I can't wait to see what she's all about. In her Travado on the phone. I don't think she's watching. Cheers, everybody. Thanks, Rob.
Cheers, cheers. So you said that was $78?
The Bloody Basin was about $45, which I think.
All right, we're gonna have to up our Libation Live monetary donations here.
Yeah, it's I love supporting the small guys, and they charge a lot because it's it's usually a family business. So
yeah, they're small,
and these are the ones that like to share. That's why we do Libation Live, sharing tastes from the road. And when we've gotten together, we got a big bottle of the usual stuff, right? But then sharing and the story behind it is, to me, what this is all about. And you can't find this every place you go, although I did find it at Total Wine today, which I was excited about. So that's kind of the Libation Live. What do I have next? Open mic. So we're going to close that for today. Oh my gosh, this day in history. This is very important. So when I put the show together yesterday, Wikipedia, we love Wikipedia. So this is kind of funny. 63 years ago yesterday, birth control pills were approved by the FDA. 63 years ago. 82 years ago, the German submarine was captured by the Royal Navy, England, and they got their hands on the Enigma, which really changed the course of the war. And if you World War II people like Rob would know that, right? That was a big deal. Huge deal. Today, I got a few for you. 29 years ago, Nelson Mandela became South Africa's first black president. Up to that point, been ruled by white folks. And how about this? Betamax was introduced by Sony 48 years ago in 1975. Rob, I got to believe you had a Betamax.
No, my father wouldn't spend money.
It was better quality. It was better this, better, smaller.
It was better everything.
It just never took off,
but
right?
No one would take it, because it cost too much.
So great. I got a couple more for you. They'll make you chuckle. 115 years ago today, Mother's Day was observed for the first time in the United States. In Grafton, West Virginia. How about that? So to all of our mothers out there, we wouldn't be here without them. How about this? 1869, 154 years ago, First Continental Railroad came together in this really no place of outside of Salt Lake, Utah. Have you been there, Rob?
No, I am. That's why we bought the RV, because I've traveled the world and never traveled the U.S.
You will love this spot. You'll love Utah, Salt Lake City area in general. And I knew about the First Continental thing. That was a really big deal. And they didn't really know. Think about 154 years ago, no GPS. So how did they come actually together in such a precise manner? The other thing I learned by visiting that, we actually did a video on that, is that when they pounded the spike in, there was two wires that were smashed together at the same time. And that was the first time we had coast-to-coast telegraph communications. So those two events, transportation and communication, was changed on that site in Utah in 1869, 154 years ago. And they have a space thing. There's the Morton Thiokol Rocket Garden just a few miles down the road. Be sure and don't miss that. And then if you're going way...
Pony Express.
Yes, sir. And if you go way back to 29 BC, a sunspot was observed by the Han Dynasty astronomers. Now, how they saw a sunspot 2,051 years ago, I have no clue, but there they were, seeing a sunspot on the sun.
Less light pollution.
Less light pollution, no kidding. That is so great. So that's our day in history. We want to thank our friends at Wikipedia for that. If you're not looking at the Wikipedia, you want to do that. Okay, so song of the week. Rob, what's your song of the week that you'd like to share with somebody as I bring this up?
Song of the week for me?
Yeah. What's your favorite song this week?
My wife was going, is he going to do Kate Bush this time?
I should have. I listened to her. I
Running up
recognize
that
some of those
hill.
songs. I should have. I forgot about that. Uh-oh. Hold on. Yeah, you kind of took me to task on that. This is the one I wanted to share. This comes from Frank and Sharon. We'll do Kate Bush next week. Don't let me forget.
Hey, I just sent you links. If you don't like it, that's fine.
Oh,
She's
no,
an
it's
acquired taste.
She was acquired. Well, there's a couple songs I liked a lot. So this is it's from Frank and Sharon, a contemporary band. So that's why it's in an app. And this is, I had never heard of these guys. The song is Hannah. Authentic Unlimited is the band name, and it's kind of a bluegrass, folk, country mishmash. And they were going to see these folks, the Authentic Limited, because one of their favorite bands, Frank and Sharon. Thank you for this. They were headed to a bluegrass barbecue festival in Missouri. Now, could that be more fun? Bluegrass barbecue in Missouri. Listen to this kind of music.
And Missouri barbecue is wonderful.
I know, right? There's a great barbecue joint on Route 66 outside of wherever it was, Missouri, that was really lovely.
I love Texas, but their barbecue, no.
No? Oh, that's interesting. No. Oh, don't tell anybody.
I do not like their barbecue.
Let's see. I almost read this as Sarah Palin. Sarah Pullen, light planning. I break for fruit stands, antique malls, and diners. That's cool. Sarah, that might be a new name. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate that. So this kind of goes back to what would you stop for? Right. Really think that through, because I probably pass on the fruit stand. Antique mall, maybe. Saloon for diner, absolutely. So this is it. Thank you, Steve. Craters of the Moon is a national monument. I almost got to a national park. Wow.
Well, what do you like to stop at? What's your favorite thing to stop at?
Historic districts. 100%. Oh. Yeah. Usually history, architecture, cool old small town. My favorite thing, no doubt. Here's this is a sign up for the night. $10. Thank you very much. YouTube user going incognito. So we love Craters of the Moon. Yeah, if you haven't been there, it's so good. And that is so great. Thank you very much, YouTube user. It's so great. Yeah, Steve said he's saloons. Either answer for himself or answer for me. One of the two. Yeah, saloons, anything cowboy, history, historic districts. I've had so many great times in all those. Small towns, 100%. So let's see. With that, let's roll to the. Everybody have a good time?
I am.
So, Rob, thank you for joining us for our open mic session of What's Up Wednesday, and just delighted to have you in here, sir. Thanks for being a great supporter. And are you going to the embassy camp out in June?
No. The rule is 2 months before you retire, you're not allowed to take any vacations whatsoever. So June and July, I cannot take off. It's horrible.
You're so going to enjoy retirement.
I know. And it eats me up that I can't go to the June event. I'm going to be at Vantopia in February.
Sweet.
So we've already got our tickets and everything. So
that is so great.
Planning ahead.
The shackles
I already have
will be
2
released.
routes to go there.
Yes. Well, you're going to have a blast. We had a great time last time. And Frisco Tea is looking for volunteer bartenders, apparently. So that's so funny. This crowd, I love us all. It's so great.
I drink all the profits. It wouldn't work.
Say again?
I drink all the profits. It wouldn't work.
That's the way it works. So, Rob, sit tight in the studio, and we'll cut the stream here. Just want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. We had a big crowd here. This is what we do. We learn, we share, we have a lot of fun together, and just really appreciate you being here. And there's Josh. And it's just such a great community we've grown, family, really, over the years. So, Rob, sit tight, and we'll see you folks next Wednesday. See you hopefully Friday for the Embassy RV Live, talk about RV depreciation, and Sunday van tour, the Dazzle coming out. You're going to like that van, I think. Goodbye, everybody. See you next week. Peace be with you.